Hey, so what's up everybody, and welcome to a long overdue video from the thrift store prepper. Reasoning behind that is I've had a couple of busy weeks at work, not to mention thrown in with that some horrendous winter weather that's seen record-breaking snowfall and terrible frigid temperatures and freezing ice and goodness knows whatever, all the sort of stuff that makes you want to stay inside and not really venture too far out of the warmth. And then this week, as it is winter and I seem to got to this far without getting sick, unfortunately attending a soccer game in minus 15 temperatures didn't do me any favors, and since then I've not been feeling 100%, and I've been in bed for the last couple of days, and you may be able to detect in my voice it doesn't sound as crisp and clear as it normally does, so my apologies for that. So I haven't been able to get myself to the Dollarama or the No Frills to get some items to make videos and do some recipes and stuff, and I've actually this week had to delve into my supplies a little bit to survive on, especially the last couple of days, because I have been out of work and unable to get to the stores. So lucky for me, I have quite a stocked pantry to select stuff from. So it's a little bit depleted at the moment, but at some point in the near future I will be doing another restock, and we will be getting some more bagging videos and some more recipes and stuff coming in the future. So all that being said, and no further ado, let's see what today's video is all about. And it's kind of a bit of a video for the sake of making a video, as we haven't made one for a couple of weeks, and as I have been using my pantry this last month almost really to snack and live off of my days off in through my illness. It's lost a few things, and I have done a little bit of rearranging to kind of occupy myself, and I started doing that a little earlier. I thought, you know what, this is a video. That sounds very like George Costanza's trying to pitch Seinfeld to the NBC executives, but you know, there's always content to be found, and it may be of interest or of absolute no interest for anyone, but still it's going to be going up on the channel. And if you are one of the 6 people that happen to watch this, then good for you. Thank you for your continued viewing. So let's have a little look what we got on the table here. This is some stuff I kind of got, which is condiments in additions to the canned and dried foods that I have, and these are kind of things that I'm going to separate between things that I snack on, and we're going to put some of the stuff into long-term storage. So I don't know if you can remember, we did some repackaging. This is actually, I don't know if you can see this one, we have some instant mashed potatoes in there, and there's 2 packages complete in there. That fits nicely, so that's something we're going to be putting away. And repackaged our pancake mix. Our Aunt Jemima's went into these other bags. If I can find the next big one somewhere, I'm sure there's a third one somewhere. Maybe I've left it on the floor, but I can assure you somewhere there is another one. It's right in front of you. There you go. As always, right in front of your face department. So there's that. Here's some dehydrated potatoes I've got. Some sugar packs. If you can remember the jam bombs, I think about 6 people actually watched that video. So we've got our jam bombs, we've got a little package of cheese sauce, and it's all the stuff that I've used my weed bag is to condense or downsize stuff that you may not have seen on the channel previously. So we've got some little crackers there and jelly, we've got some hard candies, some wet naps, and some other good stuff. I think we've got some salt. This is some stuffing, another packet of this, some crackers, wet naps. So it's all kind of accessory type stuff, or dried foods, or things we don't need. So what I have, if we look over here, is one of these storage buckets. Now I brought these home from work some time ago. I have used one. I think I made a video of that. Again, maybe 8 people saw that video of me downsizing and utilizing the storage container. So that's what we're going to do again. We're going to utilize this storage container with all these dried products that I've put into my Mylar bags. So you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to toss this stuff in and try and get it to fit the best we can. And this is something that you can just put to the side and basically forget about it, you know. Gets it out of the way, it takes it out of my little container and pantry and frees up some space. So there you go. You can pretty much see there that that's pretty much to the top. I don't know if you can actually. Let me do this. There you go. You can kind of see. Excuse the lighting. We do run on a budget here, and I have actually got a light bulb out. But wait 1 second. Let me try something real quick. I don't know if that helps or not, but yeah, there we go. A little bit. Now this is something I've also had lying around, which is some instant tofu, and on top of there I threw a few condiments and sauces, so I'm going to toss that in as well. There's another jam bomb there that's got away. And what else can we throw in there? Anything or nothing? I'm not too sure, but you know, that kind of fills up nicely to the top there. So we have a lid, and we might have to put this on the floor to seal it. Yes, we will. There we go. So there's all our repackaged weed baggy items, some mostly instant and freeze-dried stuff, so some jellies and stuff. So we can forget about that, we can put to the side and go along with our other storage container that we've utilized. Now something else I did, I'm sure you may have remember we repackaged our ramen noodles. Now I have this huge mylar bag here, if you can see that. Let me get that all in the screen. So yeah, you know, you can put it upside down, and if I open that up, you can see we have all our ramen noodles. Let me just take one out. If you can remember, we repackaged them in the trail mix packages, and in each one of these I have 3 packets of ramen. So in here, oh, something else I should show you. I have the I have 3 of these. This is all the seasonings that we can toss. I'm just going to put that in there, and I think I got about total 40 ramen in this bag, and there is room for some more. It's not filled to the top, so we will also be adding to that in the near future. Now this stuff here is kind of things I don't really know what I should be doing with, or where I can put it as I go. This is going to be some term of long-term items, so I think I might have to get another storage container and put some of these in. So I'm just going to pause briefly. I'm back, but while I went to go and get the second bucket, it is here, look, an empty one. As you can see, good to go. I had a change of heart, and as I say, we do make this shit up as we go along. There is no real plan, and like I said, this really is kind of a video that I'm clutching at straws for content, to put something together and put on the channel, just to show you that I haven't really forgotten about you. So, you know, we've just put a bunch of stuff into a storage container, but what I also do have is this. Now, we're going to try and move some stuff out of the way, and you know, we are, you know, a little bit starved of space here at the Thrift Store Prepper, and this is kind of what this project is all about, putting together, you know, a pretty decent hamper with minimal space and on minimal income. So if I still have you watching, you haven't clicked and found something else to watch, let's just pick the camera up. So this is a little container, and this is kind of stuff that I've been eating every day in snacks. You can see I've got some crackers in here, some jerky, beef sticks. I got our good old sriracha, which we've been using in the recipes, so that's on hand. I've got a little glass there with some other condiments, some plum sauce, soy sauce and hot sauce. I don't actually need that glass. I'm going to put that to the side. I don't really like that. Any other kind of stuff that I've been keeping in here are just a few, you know, little Tupperware containers like this. these takeout trays, because as you've seen before in the past, we've used those as food containers. And I got a couple of these other ones here, look, so there's that. Here we've got some, you know, things that you can pick up at takeout, some napkins, forks, spoons, drinking straws. There's a spoon from Wendy's, so that's kind of free stuff in the things that we accumulate over time. So at the back here I also have some emergency Gatorade water, and this is actually fantastic things to refill and use again. This is a coconut water container that I've already drunk the coconut water, but I've refilled it with water, and hopefully we're getting some of those and maybe utilize those as recycling them for water storage. So what I've been trying to do, I guess, is utilize the space that I have the best I can. So I'm thinking what I might do is remove this, because it's kind of a little bit useless. Oh, found ourselves another little weed baggie there, that's good. I've got a brown sack here which we can put at the bottom, and another brown paper bag, and these things are pretty handy to keep for multiple purposes. You can use it for toilet paper, you can use it for carrying things, or what have you. So what we're going to try and do is maybe just utilize this as our condiments and everyday use items. So we're going to put our sriracha, our hot sauce, our cheese whiz at the back. You know what, let's pull that forward. Oh yeah, this my excess baggies, so they're keeping there. So this is pure white vinegar, which we can use this for cleaning, for disinfectant. We can even use this as kind of a rubbing alcohol for wounds and injuries. It will sting, but then so does rubbing alcohol, so not a bad item to have. And as I said, this is good for sanitization. So we've also got a few of our little seasoning packets here, so let's utilize this little box. Throw in our seasoning maybe, and you know, we're all about recycling stuff and using stuff over again. Let's put that little weed baggie in there, because we can sure use that again. So I'm just going to pause it here while I get this together. So that was kind of a lengthy pause, but here you can go. You can see that I've restocked and tidied that up and kind of organized it a little bit. And here you can see we've got the water at the back, we've got my bags, we've got our hot sauce, sriracha vinegar, a little section of condiments there, we've got our Ritz crackers, we've got our soup base down there, just some little condiments and things that we pick up along the way. You know, and these are kind of good things, those little silica gel bags that they can come in handy at some point, so we keep a couple of those. Somehow, somewhere along the line, I lost the Slim Jim. I'm sure it'll show up. But there you can see, let's kind of utilize the space. We've got our food eating containers or storage containers or whatever you want to use those for. So while we're here, let's just take a little step back. And well, let's just point something else out at this moment. We're actually gone a little bit high tech. So I'm actually running the phone. Whoops, I had a little bit of a drop there off of my power bank that I often run my heated vest off. Now I'm using my backup phone for this project, and I kind of started with this phone for the thrift store prepper, and it's something that I'm continuing to use even though I have upgraded my personal phone. This is kind of just for thrift store prepper purposes, and I can record all my videos and upload and everything's set up ready to go. So what we've done is we've utilized quite a lot of space. So we have an empty container here. We have a semi-empty container here which has some corned beef. So I've got 6 cans of corned beef. And at the back here we've got some cooked hams. There's 4 cooked hams and 6 corned beef. So, you know, there's quite a lot of protein going on there, all very, very processed meat, but you know, that's quite a decent little supply. Having difficulties closing that up for the moment, but that's okay. So we also have another full container here that's empty, and another one here that is empty. And at the bottom, something I haven't touched since the start of this is our canned items. So, you know, we've got our luncheon meat here, we've got what, I believe 3, 6, 12 of those, and underneath, if we just pull these out the way, you can see we've got quite a lot of cans. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'd say there's about 20, 25 cans, and then on the bottom there, and then with what's on top there, there's 30. So there's nearly 40 cans of either meat products, or we got some beans, some boyardees in there, and some chili beans and stuff like that. So this is the plan. So we've reduced a lot of space there. And by the side, you can see our storage buckets. There we have in the big mylar, tucked in the side is our ramen. In the white bucket below, we have our stuff like our rice, we have oatmeal, we have couscous, you have some pasta, some dried beans, and other stuff like that, dried milk. So that's all our dried product. And again, pretty much dried products in the green tub, and it's all the stuff that we have downsized and recycled our weed bags or our mylar baggies to repackage stuff. So that's kind of how it's looking at the moment. And here's what the item that I have space for. And this is kind of where we were all started tonight's video. It's a bit of a long, boring one. I'm sure none of you are watching by now, but hey, I'm going to persevere till the end, and it ends when I say it ends. I didn't want to sound like Heisenberg there, but that did sound a little Heisenberg-esque, I must admit. But here we go. So this is kind of like dry products, and I'm down to just a single packet of individual ramen, because I have been using those the last couple of days for some soups to pick myself up while I've not been feeling so good. We've got our raisins. Let's just put everything up so you can get a decent view of what we have here. We have these little instant rice bags. Some ding dongs, we've got our little samosas, and over here our beef jerkies, our jack links, this little trail mix thing, and our plantain chips. And this is all kind of stuff that, the jerky has a pretty decent shelf life. I'm not sure about this shelf life. This says January 2020, so that's got decent shelf life on it. So again, this is kind of stuff that I'm eating kind of, on a day-to-day basis. Like for me, a decent meal is a pack of jack links and some plantains. That gives me some protein, some carbs, and some vitamins. And these plantain chips are a pretty decent item for $1. You get quite a good shot of vitamin C, and you also get some good carbs and some calories into you. So for $1, I think these are a great item. Also very similar, these green bananas. Now, I didn't actually like these as much as these plantain chips. I don't know if they're the same or different flavoring, but not so nice. So I'd definitely stick with the Inca chips if I could. So now what I need to do is try and find a way of storage all this. So we have some space over there. So let's stop the video. I'm going to put it back in the drawer, and we'll come back and have a little bit of a look at what we've done, and maybe sign off for this video, because it is dragging on, and I'm sure it's one of the more boring videos I think I've made. But as I said, I haven't made a video for a couple of weeks. I haven't been able to go out and get anything, so I'm using what I got to make content, and it is actually purposeful because I freed up some space, and in the coming weeks I'm going to be adding to this. We're going to do some unbaggings, we're going to do a few more hauls, and we're going to add to the pantry, and see how long or estimate how long we could survive on what we've got in the pantry. At the moment I think I got a good couple of months, maybe 3 months worth of food that I could live off of, and kind of these things that I pick up, that I snack on as part of my working pantry, that I think I've mentioned before, and maybe you don't want to be repeating myself, but if we did have an emergency overnight, we woke up tomorrow morning the shit hit the fan, you know, this is all stuff that I can add to my pantry and my emergency supplies to supplement it and extend my rations for a few weeks or until whenever, you know, society gets back to normal and the government gets their shit together, or, you know, the weather or whatever has passed. So, you know, this is just basic stuff. Jelly, peanut butter. We've got some Aunt Jemima's there, which is for our pancake mix that we've got in our tub already. So there you go. We're going to try and find a way to store this. So many things I'm going to be adding to, you know, these are only $1 at the dollar store, and it's an individual serving, and, you know, you open this with a can of chili beans. That's not a bad meal. Throw in some crackers. It's cheap and expensive and will fill you up. So these random cans I've got left is a coconut milk, and I still don't know how to God I got this can of tuna in my my pantry. I don't even like tuna. I'm not a fan of it. It's not something I'd buy. But you know, you can pick these up relatively cheap, and if you do like tuna, great source of protein. So let's just pause, see what we can work out in our pantry, and I'll be back at you in a little while. This is where you need kind of commercial breaks, I guess. But if I was monetized, I'm sure you'd be watching some commercial for Chrysler or a bank or some other product you're probably not going to be using. So anyway, back in a few. So here you go. I've managed to use this one drawer, and I've managed to pack it up. Now, this is kind of a temporary option, because as I say, some of this stuff I do eat on a daily basis. Like, for example, the ding-dongs I could well take out and put up here. But there you go, we've got our samosas at the back, underneath the Indian trail mix. Our rice is on top of our jerky. We've got our single ramen, we'll toss at the back there, and our plantain chips. And at the front we've got our PB&J, we've got our coconut milk and the random tuna. And tucked nicely down the side there is the Aunt Jemima's. So, excuse me, as I said, I have been a little bit sick lately. So there's one container. So why I'm leaving this one empty is we're going to be filling this one with cans. So in the next week or two, we will be doing a Dollarama and a no thrill run, and a few grains and stuff in the bottom there. But we're going to clean that out before, and we're going to be restocking this with some cans. We've got this one here that we can restock with some cans. And beyond that, we're going to come up here and maybe start a brand new ramen drawer. And this can be like a daily ramen stuff that I use. Then we don't have to touch the ones we have here for emergencies. And this will supplement them. And you know what? To show our intention, let's take the single Mr. Noodle and put it in the one drawer. There we go. So this is for ramen. Coming to think about it, I could possibly take that out of there and toss that in the back there. Perfect, look, it was almost made to fit. So there you go. We've done a little bit of rearranging, we've utilized some space, we're using our tubs, and there you go. That's the pantry up to date. We've done a little bit of reorganizing. We've repackaged stuff. We've condensed things. And as I say, that's what it's looking like at the minute. I could actually turn it that way for you. There you go. And I just disconnected by accident the power back. So let's hope we don't run out of batteries. And maybe what else I could do is pull this forward. Flip that to the back. No, we're going to come back to that. But there you go, people. We're going to end the video today on this note. And, you know, that's the space that I'm using at the minute. I haven't really exceeded it. I haven't really thrown that much out. But you can see we've got ourselves a good couple of drawers there to fill up with more supplies. And we've utilized some of our free tubs. And on top there, we've kind of got whatever that is that's going on. I'm not sure really, but we'll figure something out. We will do something to change that, maybe get a plastic container to toss on top of there to keep it all kind of condensed and compact and easy to pick up and leave it at a moment's notice. I mean, really and truly, I could toss another container on there, one of the buckets perhaps, and put all that stuff in there, but I don't know. It kind of looks a little bit neater like this, and you can see it's all to hand and can be grabbed at a moment's notice. So with all that being said and done, this has been kind of a long, tedious and very long, boring video, I'm sure, for anyone who has stuck with it to the very end, and you probably haven't learned anything. You've just watched me put stuff in one box into another box and talk shit about it. So it's been a shit video production for the Thrift Store Prepper. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time, unless of course this video really was the last straw and you've unsubscribed. But if you didn't, and we do catch you next time, we'll see you then.